Good morning, wonderful world. It is great to be back. I'm Jerry Lard, and I've been gone to Colorado Springs for 14 days, and I'm so glad to be back home. It's great. Anyway, welcome to Fellowship of Spirit on this beautiful Sunday morning. And I don't have it on, okay. Oh yeah, I guess you do have to turn it. Buttons, always buttons. Anyway, good morning all. Betty, it's good to see you. Your surgery went well. I'm so happy for you. Don and Bree, it's nice to see you guys again. It's always good. Everybody welcome. And Margaret has our prelude, Leaning on Everlasting Arms. Thank you, Margaret. I'm going to have to speak loudly, and so will the rest of you, because the batteries are dead on it. That's okay. This works, and if you speak loudly, everybody can hear you. In place of our meditation today, or in place of our opening prayer, we're going to have Brianna Cummins do our meditation. So if you would welcome her, please. This is her first time doing this with us, but I understand she's very good at it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to share a meditation with you this morning. When you're ready, let's go ahead and settle into our space. So perhaps closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Maybe grounding down through your feet, sitting up a little bit taller, finding some length in your spine. And taking a moment just to notice how you feel, notice anything that arises within you. And to begin to soften the outer world so we can awaken to the inner one. Let us create that space now, finding stillness. Let us begin this time together by turning inward. We'll begin to deepen our breath. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then open your mouth, exhale completely. Good. Now I invite you to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your midsection. As we begin to inhale through our nose, think about drawing your breath down to the part of your diaphragm. Feeling your belly expand.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
You want to pause for a moment? Okay. No worries. Just taking a moment here to settle back into our stillness, reconnect with the breath. Again, as you inhale, fill your lungs, feel your midsection expand. And as you exhale, gently allow your midsection to sink, to release. Good. Inhaling, fill up. And exhale, let go. With each breath, allowing yourself to fully arrive here in this moment. Inhaling presence and exhaling distraction. Let's bring our awareness to our top hand, our heart center. Breathe a little more deeply into this space, feeling your heart and your chest expand. This is your sacred center, your seat of intuition, the home of your deepest desires. Continuing to breathe here, expanding with each inhale, releasing any tension around your heart with each exhale. Perhaps noticing a feeling of warmth, of connection growing here. Here, you don't need to search or strive. You only need to listen. Continue holding this space. This is your inner sanctuary, where God speaks in quiet nudges and inspired visions, where your deepest desires are born. Allow this connection and warmth to radiate through your entire being, growing and expanding outward. Just breathe and receive. Today, we explore the mystery and grace of dreams, not just the ones that we hold in our mind, but the sacred ones that arise from the depths of our heart. Dreams are not accidents. They are divine whispers, echoes from the soul, gifts from God, planted deep within us, waiting for space to unfold. You may gently release your hands down. Allow a natural rhythm of your breath to return. Maybe find some slight movement with your fingers and toes, knowing that your desires are sacred and the divine delights in planting those seeds within you. As you're ready, you may gently blink your eyes open and just take a moment to kind of reorient to this space. Thank you all.
So much.
I would like to add, this is I'm learning, I got the Old Farmer's Almanac this year for the first time, and it talks about the moon and different moon cycles. It's really a great resource for gardeners and farmers. But it talks about the phase that the moon is in right now, and it's a little bit over the half point, and the tide. So it talks about how the water not only affects the tide of the seeds, but also of the water in the ground underneath us. And so it was the best time to plant when the moon is in that phase, and also I think it's a good time to plant greens for ourselves too. Yeah. So if you're wanting some vegetables, this is a good time to plant.
I know I have friends that they don't put anything in the ground until after the 1st of June. I, however, can't stand it. I've got to get them in there in May and then babysit them and cover them and put things over them in case it freezes. I mean, it's, oh yeah. Brandon, I loved the fact that you work on our breathing. We were talking about that in class, how important breathing is. And I love the fact that you incorporate that into the meditation. I look forward to more of your meditations. Thank you very much. And Margaret, we have another song in the binder, in the little 3-ring binder, Down in My Soul.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Beautiful. I did not mention any activities going on in the beginning, which I meant to, Our solstice picnic will be on the Friday, June the 20th. It's not in the folder right, but for those of you that can make it, June the 20th at Kiwanis Park is our solstice, and it'll be from 5 until 7:30, 8 o'clock. We are providing brats and brisket, and if you come, bring something to share with everybody. Also, I wanted to mention who our speakers are going to be for the next several weeks. Mark will be speaking on Father's Day, June the 15th, and Travis will be speaking on June the 22nd. David Kuhn, who we're reading his Qigong book right now in our book reading group, it'll be on the June the 29th. And then Mark again on July 5th, David on the 13th, and our Don Cummins again on July 20th. Those of you who are not getting the emails, if you need them, let us know. We will be glad to make sure you're on the constant contact. Anyway, if you will read in your bulletins and follow along with me, this is our reflection moment. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. Your turn? You have the spiritual reading? Good, thank you. I forgot to ask.
Ahem, ahem.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Okay, so today's reading is from yesterday's Science of Mind Daily Guide, and it's called Colorful Mind. Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. They are all mind wrought. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows them in a never departing shadow. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it is Dhammapaparda. I got to figure out who that is. Dhammapaparda. Yeah. Okay, our mind partakes of the creativeness of infinite mind, and we may direct this creativity in our experience at the level of our understanding of it. That's from Ernest Holmes, quoted in the Science of Mind magazine. How well do you know your own mind? How well can you articulate your thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions regarding any number of things? Holmes once said, if there were 1,000 people who knew what religious science was, practiced it, and adopted it in a way of life, then we would live to see a new world, a new heaven, and a new earth here. In other words, he would see a world that works for all. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, do I know what religious science of mind is? Do I practice it? Do I live it? What do each of these things not only mean, but what do they look like in my daily life? If we want to end such things as war, famine, genocide, poverty, and more, our minds must be effectively anchored in the consciousness of the divine. We must actively practice, engage, and embody the creativity that God is as us, and stop wanting God to do it for us. Meister Eckhart said, between me and God, there is no between. Each of us is it and must assume the responsibility that comes with that awareness and power. There is one mind. It is God, and that mind is yours and your mind now. How are you using it to build bridges, heal lives, evolve consciousness, and nurture loving relationships? We can use this mind to build bombs or to build homes, hurt or heal, hoard or share. Which will you do? And the affirmation is, I use my mind to imagine, envision, strategize, engineer, and communicate with others so that we may cooperate and collaborate in ways that heal and transform the world. I subscribe to science of mind, and it fits so well with our philosophy here at Fellowship of Spirit, along with unity. I mean, we're all in the same kind of a family, and I really, really appreciate that because we have no enemies. You know, and that's the thing I like best about my spiritual practice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And there are some Science of Mind booklets on the front desk out there, old ones, full of wisdom. Please take them with you, share them, pass them on. Whatever you'd like to do with them will be great. Okay, we have another song. This one's in the Brown Book, page 341. Love the good you see in all.
Love is gentle, love is sweet, love has willing hands and feet. Love your work and love your play, love the Lord of every day. Love the birds and love the flowers, love the fresh sweet morning hours. Always love to do your part, then you'll have a happy heart. Love is never cross and rude, love is ever kind and good. Love makes happy smiling faces, let it shine in all dark places. Whether great or whether small, love the good you see in all. Always love to do your part. Love the good you see in all.
Thank you, Margaret. I would like for you to help me welcome Don Cummins. He's become one of our standard speakers, one of our roster of speakers that we're so very glad to have him amongst us. And his point of view is so in line with ours that it's amazing, but he gives a different take on a lot of stuff. So please join me in welcoming Don Cummins. I don't know if you want to put this in your pocket or hold it or.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Start just flashing back and forth, and then it'll go.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here, and I want to thank you, Margaret, for the beautiful songs, and Steve for the readings, and thank you, Bree, for the wonderful meditation to open up for this this day here. So there was a young boy named Jimmy, and Jimmy was fascinated with the stars and with the universe and the galaxies, and he would go out into the back porch and out into the field in his home where he lived with his mom and dad, and he would look up at the night sky and he would wonder about his purpose and his meaning, and he would wonder and speak to whatever was there and try to connect. And gradually a dream began to take shape in Jimmy's mind and in his heart. And his dream, he decided, was going to be to invent the technology to travel from the Milky Way to a distant galaxy. And so His parents and other people that knew Jimmy thought to themselves, he'll outgrow that dream one day. It's a little naive, but Jimmy did not see it that way. For Jimmy, his dream was as real as the hands in front of him. And he knew that he would do everything he could within his power to follow that dream. And so he began studying math. And at nighttime, he would go out in the backyard and he would let loose bottle rockets into the night sky. And he would improve his inventions so that he could get closer to actually building a rocket that would take him and his family and whoever wanted to go to the nearest galaxy one day. And so he threw his heart and soul into this, and as he got into high school, he was an honor roll student, especially in astronomy and math. And as he grew near to his graduation, he was offered a scholarship at California Institute of Technology, Caltech, to become an astrophysicist. And so Jimmy went, and he was excited, and he felt like he was living his purpose and his meaning, and his dream was going to come true one day, and he was going to make it happen. And so there, while he was at college, he met a lot of lifelong friends, and he did well in his studies. He met his wife and began a family. And toward the end of his graduation, a well-known satellite company offered Jimmy a job building rockets and designing them and architecting them and doing the research and publishing his work. And over the next decade and then 2 decades, he became well known in his field, and he developed a lot of camaraderie with the people he worked with, and became very respected. And the decades passed, and one night he went back to that house that he grew up in. It was a family get-together. And he walked out to the back porch and looked up at the night sky, and he was happy with his life, but he was reminded of his dream as he looked up at the stars. And he knew that he most likely was not going to help anybody get to the next galaxy. And he wondered for a moment, did I miss my dream? You know, did I miss my mark in some way? I'm happy with my life, but was I misguided on some level? And it was at that moment that he heard a hiss, and he looked over, and it was a bottle rocket going up in the backyard, and it was his grandson, Trevor. And at that moment, he knew that he had not missed his purpose, and that his dream had led him right to the place that he was supposed to be. And he felt connected, and he felt God speaking to his heart, saying, "You are right where you're supposed to be." So the other morning, my wife Bree and I were reading a devotional together, and as we have been doing recently, and there was this reading that said, each entry in the devotional is a quote from God to us. And it said, "Your dreams are my gift to you. They beckon you forward into new experiences. And in those experiences, you catch a glimpse of more clearly of our oneness." And that impacted me, because that is the truth. That is the purpose of our dreams. It's not to reach a particular goal, but it's a means by which we can follow our own individual paths and watch Spirit unfold in our lives, however that takes place. Each one of us has a dream, and I don't know what your dream is, and you might not know what mine is. And your dream may be vivid today and very clear in your mind, and it might be somewhat dim, who knows, or somewhere in between. You know, we are the only species that I'm aware of that has the capacity to intentionally grow, to plant the seeds of our own growth and use our creativity and the resources that we have to walk a path that will unfold into something new and unique, and something that has never existed and never will exist again in the way that only we can make that happen in our lives. Our dreams are a gift for our own growth. And today I just want to share 3 points that we can be mindful of, and that we can commit together or recommit to follow our dream, whatever that may be. And the first point is that there is no order of importance or hierarchy in the dream that we've been given. There is no reason or nor justification to compare our dreams with the dreams of anyone else. Martin Luther King had a dream. He had a dream that all of God's children would someday hold hands and get along and love one another, and to no longer judge each other by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And that is a grand dream that Martin Luther King was given. And by speaking that dream, we all absorbed that dream to some degree in our lives. I think it's fair to say. But I'm telling you today that as grand as Martin Luther King's dream is and was, it is no greater than the dream of a mother whose dream is that her two children will someday get along and hold hands and love each other. And I know that there's many mothers who have a similar dream to that in the world. There's no order of importance to our dreams, for each has been given to us individually and uniquely by God. I don't know if that sounds familiar or not, but it's similar to the Course in Miracles, that there is no degree or hierarchy in miracles. Our dreams and our experiences and the miracles that we have are merely tools to help us to see our oneness with God more clearly and more personally, and that we're connected to Spirit fundamentally in our being, and to watch that unfold in our lives. And so that means that we don't need to judge our dreams and to see them as unimportant or not as important as someone else's dream. They are our unique gift from God. And so that's the first point to remember, is that our dreams are valuable and we are worthy of the dream that we've been given. The second point is that our dreams often play out in a way that we may never have seen. And that's okay. We don't need to get hung up on the outcome of what our dream needs to look like, even though our dream may become our North Star in one sense as to the actions we take and the plans that we make. So when I left Florida, when we left Florida, we sold our house and we bought an RV and we set off across the country, and I quit my job. I was doing corporate work, doing software development, working for a company, and that's a whole amazing story in and of itself, how we wound up at that point, living in a beautiful place in Tampa Bay, Florida. But I had a dream, and Brianna had a dream. We wanted to do something different and to serve, and I had written a book. And I had gotten up every morning at 4 and 5 a.m. to write this book, and my heart and soul was into it. And in my mind, I saw clearly what was going to happen when that book came out and how it would play out. And in my mind, lives would be changed. People would say, if Don transformed his life like that, then I know that I can. I know that there's purpose and meaning. I know that I have a reason to be beyond just the mundane day-to-day. And we decided we were going to take off, and Bree was going to teach yoga, which she did remotely to populations of people. And I was going to do a book tour. I was going to set up events at places and share my book and do readings and do all of this. But the timing just wasn't really that great because we were right at the height of the COVID pandemic. Okay. And I was a little naive like Jimmy, you know. That was almost the equivalent of traveling to another galaxy at that point. So it just didn't pan out, and the book sales weren't that great. But the people who read it, I would get an email or a message saying, "Oh my God, that was amazing, you know, and thank you so much for writing that." And it would warm my heart like I can't even express. But the thing is if we hadn't taken off in that RV, and we hadn't experienced that journey, we would have never wound up by accident in the Four Corners area. You know, we would have never met you all. We would have never known what it's like to raise goats and chickens and own a few acres of land. And we would have never experienced the amazing things that we have. And those experiences led me, and I know my wife, to trust more completely in how Spirit is unfolding in our lives, without having that fixed idea of how things must be in our mind. And that dream is not gone. That dream is still there. However, it's just taken a different form, and that's okay. So when we have a dream and we know that that is our dream and we have clarity on that and we're pursuing it, we need to be flexible about how that plays out and not overlook an opportunity right in front of us because we have a rigid idea of how that's supposed to play out. And the third point that I wanted to talk about is the necessity of taking action. You know, I've discovered on my journey, and many people have, that it is great to read books. It's great to listen to an audiobook or to hear a sermon or someone run their mouth like me right now up here. But there's absolutely nothing that can beat growing and learning and unfolding by experience, by taking action and learning to rely upon the voice of Spirit in our lives, and learning how to make mistakes and trusting in God that we will get back up again and keep going. We were not given our dream to just think about it and just ponder it. And there's sometimes some things we need to overcome to take those steps to make our dream actualize, to start making progress towards that, whatever that is. It might be self-doubt. It might be fears that we're lacking in resources. Maybe we think that we're too young or that we're too experienced to make progress toward our dream, whatever that is. But the reason we're here, and the reason we've been given this experience, and the reason we've been given these dreams, is because it's a gift of God that is critical to unfolding and growing and becoming more one with Spirit. Our dream, we talk about following paths. You know, I follow the path that is called this. I follow the way that is called this. But there's one way that we all have that is unique to each one of us, and that's following the path of what God has placed upon our hearts to do. And to not ignoring that, and to moving forward, because that is the key, I believe, into trusting God more fully and not having to hear it secondhand from anyone. But we learn by our experience and place our trust in God that way much more fully. And so my call to action, my exhortation, or my whatever you want to call that, what I'm challenging each one of us to do today here, and I'm right with you, to commit or to recommit to following our dreams, whatever that is and wherever that may take us. So that might be a dream of helping affect some social change, a cause. It might be a dream of starting a business, you know, becoming an entrepreneur on some level. It might be a dream of just learning how to love more fully the people that are right in front of us in our lives. It doesn't matter what the dream is. The thing that matters is that we commit to following that dream and seeing it through in our lives, because that is the path that we've been given, and that's the gift that we've been given from God. The one thing I would say as well is that I found works for me on my path is that I have at least one person in my life who is a gift as well, that I can share my dream with, and who will ask me on a regular basis, "What are you doing today, Don, to make progress towards that dream that you said God gave you?" And when I have that accountability, it motivates me, and I know that I have to take that action step today. And I can't rest on what I did yesterday, but I keep moving forward and explore and discover how that dream is playing out. And so my invitation today to you is if you feel it and it's real to you, to repeat a simple affirmation along with me in committing to following your dream, whatever that may be. And so, if you would, I have a dream. My dream is God's gift to me. And I choose to have faith and believe that following this dream is the path that God has given me to grow. That was a lot of words there, sorry. And I commit to taking action toward my dream. Knowing that no other path I take in this life will reward me greater. And so it is. I want to thank you just for giving me the opportunity to share that with you. And I hope that all your dreams come true. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Don.
That reminds me of something that I heard a long time ago that I still try to practice, I don't always, but a dream is a goal with a deadline. And sometimes we have dreams that are ongoing, they just go forever, and you don't really actualize them, but I like what Don is saying about let's put it into practice and let's work towards that deadline. You may never get there. The guy, Jimmy, it's coming true in his grandson or in his son, that maybe his son is going to be the one that takes the family to the galaxy. But he passed on that dream, and you can do that too, sharing with our children, sharing with our grandchildren, and for me, sharing with my great-grandchildren now is such a blessing, and if I can convey my dreams to them, then that is God's will in my book. Thank you. Anybody else want anything to say anything? Do I get off my soapbox?
I'd like to say that the message I got from Don, and he didn't specifically say this, but it is never too late.
That's right.
Because what happens is I've had dreams since I was a kid, and I've altered them as I've gotten older and gone up against the realities and everything. And I've kind of come to a place in my life right now where I'm going like, oh man, these dreams are kind of like a burden. I'm tired. Maybe I'll just kind of go with the flow. But no, they're still there. Those dreams are still there. And I can envision them in any kind of form and pick it back up and go for it again. And I thank you for that, bringing that message to me, because I need that today. Yes.
Well, sometimes you have to adjust your path,
And God adjusts it for you.
That's right. And sometimes that happens too. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share?
I
Okay.
just want to share, don't forget to use your imagination. Our imagination is the gift directly from God, and I've just been made aware recently of how important our imagination is, and when you picture your dreams, make sure you get it as vivid and as clear and as graphic in your mind as you can. I've heard that that's the best way to make your dreams come true. But don't forget to use your imagination.
Well, that was quite a vivid imagination Jimmy had, building something that would take him to the next galaxy. I could understand Mars or the moon or, somewhere. Exactly, but the next galaxy, that's ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, thank you all very much, and thank you, Don. That was a beautiful thing. And people come into our lives for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And so we're so glad that you and your family found the Four Corners area to be in, and that you have found us. You're a blessing. Okay, Margaret has a song in the Brown Book, 192, Let's Celebrate Life.
Let's celebrate life. Let's give it a cheer. Let's Let's celebrate freedom, peace, and love each day of the year. Let's run up a flag so people will know that life is great when you start living. Ready, set, go. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. The truth has set us free. Let's celebrate life. Let's give it a song. Let's sing about peace and love and freedom all the day long. Let's fire a salute so people will say it's great to be alive and live in. Hip, hip, hooray. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. The truth has set us free. Let's celebrate life. Let's give it a toast. Let's talk about freedom, peace, and love, and love more. Let's set up the flare so people will shout. Life is great when you start living. Come create a life worth living. Celebrate the life you're living. Sing it right out. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. The truth has set us free.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, if you will take your donation and place it over your heart and repeat with me our celebration of abundance. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, unlimited. I am prosperous. What's yours? What do you? Okay, and we have children pretty quickly here. Thank you. Anyway, maybe children. We have two. Did they lock you in the dungeon? No? Did they show you the dungeon? We have a dungeon. We have a dungeon. We really do. It's pretty scary down there. We've had to run off skunks and what else was it? A raccoon? Yeah, we've had to run off several animals out of there.
Like a basement here?
Yes. Only we call it the dungeon because it's underneath the building. It's actually underneath that part of the building, but you can stand up in there almost.
Almost, yeah.
Steve can stand up, I can't.
Not quite.
Not quite, okay.
And the
You done with that, Steve?
pardon?
Is that what you did your thing at, your work?
Some of it.
Yeah, there's a boiler down there for the baseboard heat.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're also going to have a board meeting this afternoon after service. If anybody cares to stay and listen, that'd be fine. I don't think we have anything major to discuss, but please don't forget about the summer solstice on Friday, June the 20th at Kiwanis Park. It's a beautiful park. There's a great play area there for kids. Lots of green area to run in, place to ride bikes and things if you're inclined to. We have a covered shelter, and we're going to be providing brats and brisket. And if you do come, bring something to share with people. And Fred will be playing music. And we just have a great visitation time. Just, we're not doing anything specific in the way of a celebration, just being with each other and realizing that we're glad we're here. We're glad we're in Farmington, New Mexico, where the weather is beautiful and we have lots of sunny days. Well, there's the other half of them. Hi. Are you coming up here? Come on. Come on.
When she gets going, she goes.
She does. I'm not sure how to turn this on.
Slide it up.
Huh?
There's a slider, slide it up.
Okay. No?
Tap on it.
Is it on?
Tap on it.
Oh, is it on? Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's so nice to have boys in here. Usually we have this herd of girls. And this is my great grand.
One of this, right?
Hi. Yeah, one of them, yes.
And today in class, we wrote words on balloons
We have a future speaker.
and fit them free.
Good job. Good job. Well, it wasn't really easy to understand, but Stephanie will tell us.
Today in class, we wrote affirmation words on balloons and then we set them free.
Oh, you already set them free? Oh,
And today I'm going to be reading out of Mountain Meadows and Moonbeams. And the title is Dreamland. Everyone's dreams every night. Dreams are very wonderful things. Dreams can solve many of your problems if you ask them to. Dreams can show us the past and even the future too. Your spirit goes to many wonderful places while you sleep. Your spirit does many different things when you are resting. Sometimes dreams can tell you what your spirit did while you were asleep. Scary dreams are only dreams that show the things you are afraid of. You know you never should be afraid of scary dreams because they can hurt you. You need to talk about your dreams with one of your parents. Sometimes talking about them with another person helps you see that they were not so scary after all. Talking about your dreams can be very helpful. Sometimes your dreams are all jumbled up and they don't make much sense, but that is only because you can't remember all of them. In dreams, we can go to Ask Its Rewards, where we can see things that have happened long ago. Many times we just dream things that we think a lot about. In some dreams we can talk to God and hear God talk to us. You should look forward to going to bed at night because dreams can be so much fun.
thank you. I'm on TV. Oh, thank you all. We appreciate you a bunch. And it's nice to have a couple of boys here instead of that herd of girls all the time. So please come back, okay? We'll find fun things for you guys to do. Okay, I did all the messages and I did all the welcoming and all of the everything. So here comes Bill. Yes.
Just to thank you for all the prayers that were given to me, both by you guys and everybody. I kept telling the doctor, I will be great because I have so many people praying for me in so many places. And the doctor and Al was just amazed at how much progress I made in 6 and 8 weeks.
That's amazing.
And it was, I only missed one choir rehearsal for the Barber Shoppers concert, and I made it. I sat during the concert, but I made it
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're very happy for you. And
Good to
prayer,
have you here too, Betty.
and prayer does work. Yes, it does.
Yes, yes.
Hello, Mr. Buck.
Good morning, everyone. Just a little closing here for you. Going to talk about life's advantages. Oh, it's been a great day. Happiness is produced not so much by great pieces of good fortune that seldom happen, as by little advantages that occur every day. That's from Benjamin Franklin. It's true that most lasting and satisfying changes are accompanied one tiny bit at a time. It's not winning the lottery as much as learning to save a little each month. It's not reaching the end of a project as much as our attitude and strategy along the way. It's not a sudden breakthrough in a relationship as much as a kind attitude we have that started to cultivate each day. Happiness is centered in ordinary life. It's not a lofty concept. We only enjoy once we experience some of the far-off ideal. It's the little treasures that are hidden in every day. It is. If we pay attention to life and go on, that's where we can find happiness. We always wait for the big ship to come in. Got to watch out for and help all the little rowboats too. I am happy as I reflect on today's unique gifts, experiences, and progress. God bless, and everybody have a great week.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, if you'll all join me up front here. Thank you very much for being here this Sunday, and we will sing our way out of here. Yeah, she's trying to step on it. Yeah. Wait, okay. Oh, okay. Gotta get the right glasses on. Where Margaret's getting her glasses on. And yes, it does. Thank you all for being here, and blessings for a great week. Thank you.
Great way to start a great week.
Thanks, everybody.
Don't forget the board meeting. I think we're gonna meet in the children's room.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a board meeting to do.
The